Hi, scholars. This is Miss Ashley, and today we're going to be reading out of our history textbooks. Today's lesson is located on page 105, so please make sure to take out your history books, turn to page 105, and follow along. We are going to continue our chapter, World Trouble. Now let's take a closer look at the title of today's lesson, The Great Depression. Now let's say it all together in 3, 2, 1. The Great Depression. Now let's take a look at the history tool that's in this lesson. So it looks like we have numbers and bars here. What kind of history tool do you think this is? Now we're going to say it all together. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Graph. Yes, if you said graph, you are correct. Now let's take a look at the title of the graph. People out of work during the Great Depression. So this graph shows us how many people had lost their job or didn't have a job during each year. So it looks like here we have the year 1929, 1930, 1931, and 1932. So here are these numbers on the left tells us the numbers in millions of the people who were out of a job or people who were out of work. So in 1929, roughly less than 2 million people were out of a job. In 1930, about 4 million people were out of work. In 1931, it looks like about 8 million people were out of work. And sadly, in 1932, it looked like about 12, little less than 12 million people were out of work. So let's take a look at our text so we can better understand the Great Depression and why these people had lost their jobs. So the good times did not last. Banks and businesses closed. They could not make money. When this happened, people became unemployed. People lost jobs. They had no money to spend. People who had no money lost their homes. Some people had no food. Soup kitchens gave away meals to hungry people. Now, we're going to go back onto our history tool and tell one fact about the graph. So go ahead, take a look at the graph. What do you see? In what year were the most people out of work? So that's going to be the lesson for today, the Great Depression.